Hello, good evening. It is another day that we are meeting on our channel. I want to thank you so dearly for supporting this channel. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. So today we are looking at Maths Form 1, lesson number 3, which is a continuation of what we discussed earlier. So our subtopic is solving simultaneous linear equations using elimination method. I want to remind you that we have got 3 methods of solving simultaneous linear equations. One being elimination, another one being substitution method, and we have graphical method. So for us to be able to learn on how to solve simultaneous linear equations, I want us to look at an example. So it is from this example that I'm going to give you that will enable us learn on how to solve simultaneous linear equations. Welcome. Now let's go to an example. So we can say solve the following simultaneous equations using elimination method. So you can think of A, you can take 2x minus 1 is equals to 5. Another one, you can take 3x plus 2y is equals to 11. So these are 2 linear equations which we call simultaneous linear equations. So for us to be able to solve these 2 simultaneous linear equations, we will ask ourselves, which unknown letter are we going to eliminate? Because the method is talking of elimination. We have x and y as our unknown letters. So we will decide which letter to eliminate. If we decide to eliminate x, therefore the coefficients of x in both equations should be equal. What I mean, behind this x we have 2. Behind this x we have 3. 2 and 3 are not the same. For us to be able to eliminate x, those numbers which are 2 and 3 should be made to be equal. So in this case, how do we make the coefficients of x to be equal? The easiest way is to draw a line and then multiply the first equation by the coefficient of x in the second equation. Our coefficient of x in the second equation is 3. So the first equation should be multiplied by 3. Then, how do we make the coefficient of x in equation 2 to be equal with that in the first equation? We will bring the coefficient of x in the first equation and multiply it with the second linear equation. So let's try to multiply and see whether we are going to obtain the coefficients that are equal. 3 times 2 gives us 6x. 2 times y, 3 times y, it will give us 3y. 3 times 5, it gives us 15. 2 times 3 will give us 6x. 2 times 2, it gives us 4y. 2 times 11 will give us 22. Now, let's look at the coefficients of x. You can be able to see that from the first equation, the coefficient of x is now 6. That's the number that is behind x is 6. In the second equation, you can be able to see the coefficient is now 6. So if you look at the coefficients of x in both of our equations, they are equal. Therefore, we can subtract. And what we look at for us to be able to decide whether we add the equations or subtract is the signs. Behind 6x, we are positive. Behind 6x in the second equation, we have positive. When the signs are equal, we now subtract. So in this case, we will subtract. 6 minus 6x will give us 0. Minus 3y minus plus 4y. I can write that. We will have minus 3y minus plus 4y is going to be equal to 15 minus 22. A minus times a positive gives us a negative. So we will have minus 3y minus 4y is equals to 15 minus 22 gives us minus 7. Minus 3y minus 4y will give us minus 7y, which will be equivalent to minus 7. We divide by minus 7, we divide by minus 7 on both sides. So 7 will cancel with 7, we remain with y, which will be a negative. We also cancel that negative. 7 goes to 7 once. So that's how we obtain the power of y as 1. For us to be able to obtain the power of x, we can either use equation 1 or equation 2. So we can choose equation 1 in this case and say 2x minus 1 is equals to 5. But remember, we have already found the power of y as 1. So where we have y, we will remove y and replace it with 1. We are going to obtain 2x minus 1 is equals to 5. We now take minus 1 to the other side. Minus 1, when it crosses out the equal sign, it becomes positive. So we will have 2x is equals to 5 plus 1. 2x will be 5 plus 1 is 6. We divide by 2, we divide by 2. 2 and 2 will cancel out, we remain with x, which will be equivalent to 3. Because 6 divided by 2 is 3. As you can be able to see, we have obtained the power of x and the power of y. That means we have now solved the simultaneous linear equations using elimination method. In this example, we decided to eliminate a known letter x. I want us to look at another example whereby we will eliminate y. Now, we can think of two linear equations. We can think of 3x plus 4y is equals to 10. We can think of another one which can be 5x minus 2y is equals to 8. Let's try solving this particular question using elimination method, but this time round I want us to eliminate letter y. In the first one we eliminated x, now let's eliminate y. So remember, for us to eliminate y, we will make the coefficient of y in both the first and the second equation to be equal. In this case, the first one, the first coefficient of y is 4. The second coefficient of y is minus 2. They are not the same. So, as I said earlier, we will decide to draw a line there, and then we multiply the first equation by the coefficient of y in the second equation. In this case, it is 2. That's minus 2. We can take 2 only and leave a minus, so we can say times 2. Then we can now multiply the second equation using the coefficient of y from the first equation, which is 4. So let's multiply first equation by 2 and see whether we are going to obtain the coefficients of y being equal. So 3 times 2 will give us 6x. 4 times 2 will give us 8. That's 8y. 10 times 2 will give us 20. 4 times 5 gives us 20x. 2 times 4 will give us minus 8y. Then 8 times 4 is 32. If you look at the coefficient of y in the first equation, it is 8. Coefficient of y in the second equation is also 8. Now they are equal. Now we look at the sign. The first coefficient is positive 8. The other one is minus 8. So in this case, for us to be able to eliminate the power of y, we cannot subtract. Because I said earlier that if the signs are not the same, then we add. If they are the same, we subtract. Here we have a minus. A positive, here we have minus. They are not the same. In this case, we will add instead of subtracting. So we will now add. 6 plus 20 will give us 26x. Then plus 8 plus minus 8. So we grab plus 8 plus minus 8y is equals to 20 plus that 2 gives us 52. This will be 26x plus 8. A minus times a positive is always a minus. So it is going to be, this is y, this is also y, minus 8y is equals to 52. 8y minus 8y will be 0. Now y will be eliminated. In that case, we will remain with 26x is equals to 52. We divide by 26, we divide by 26. 26 and 26 will become, leaving us with y, leaving us with x as 2, because 52 divided by 26 is 2. Now we have obtained the value of x. We can use any particular equation for us to be able to get y. Let me take you back to our first question. We substituted the value of y in the first equation. I want us now to substitute the value of x in the second equation. So we can use the second one in this case, whereby we have 5x minus 2y is equals to 8. But we have obtained x as 2. So we will say 5 times 2 minus 2y is equals to 8. This will give us 10 minus 2y is equals to 8. We can take 10 to the other side. Minus 2y is going to be 8 minus 10. 10 is positive. When it goes to the other side, it becomes a minus. Minus 2y will be minus 2. We divide by minus 2, we divide by minus 2. Minus 2 and minus 2 will cancel. Minus 2 divided by minus 2 gives us 1. So we have tried to solve these two equations using elimination method. We have obtained the value of x, we have obtained the value of y. I've done it well, and if you have a question, you can go to our comments, ask your question there, I will answer you. Thank you for listening to me today. I'm so grateful. Thank you for your support. Keep supporting this channel kindly. God bless you. See you next time.